HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Topping the news tonight, a new Junkanoo group has made their presence known during the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade on Bay and Shirley Streets as they almost made a clean sweep in every category in the B group. The Genesis Warhawks, just a year old and comprised of Junkanoo veterans from almost all of the major Junkanoo groups, showed their competitors and the crowd just why they're all about change.
Give me some of that Holy Ghost. Give me some of that Holy Ghost. Give me some of that Holy Ghost. We got it.
They took Bay Street for the first time by storm on New Year's morning. The new kids on the Junkanoo scene, the Genesis Warhawks, executed their theme, The Awesome Wonders of God, to pick up their first win in the B category. With experienced Junkanooers, the one-year-old group felt this New Year's morning they had a whole lot to prove, and that they did by bringing a fresh breeze onto Bay Street. While basking in their first victory, Vice Chairman D'Amico Dean says despite minor challenges, Genesis was still able to put on a stellar performance.
Shirley Street, we had to start a little early because we were supposed to come out, I think, 5th. Normally had to come right out, so most of the groups didn't show, the B groups. But we were on time, we were in place, so you got to be ready. When they say when they call, you got to be ready, and we were ready.
You guys are ready for Boxing Day this year?
2016? Oh boy, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Chastelian, good competitor. You want to say thank you for putting the fuel in us, and we'll see you Boxing Day.
Dean says his Junkanoo group is not just about winning parades, but more about giving back to the community.
We wanted to show that, hey, listen, we can do what is necessary to put a group on the parade. Also, community work in our communities. Also for our members, different aspects of modernizing Junkanoo. Whereas we registered our members, we started building our brand, changing the game different from how other B groups did Junkanoo, from practices, to executing for Bay Street. So, and this is the end result.
Chairman of the parade management team, Jeff Lloyd, congratulated the Junkanoo neophytes for not only a job well done, but for also tasting Junkanoo glory.
Let me just say, Genesis, you backed up your mouth because you were very expressive and insistent that you were going to take Bay Street by storm. You were winners in a number of categories, the overall winner as a matter of fact, and we are obviously very proud of you, as we are of all the big groups. Congratulations, continue to do the great work and also assist the Junkanoo community, the government of the Bahamas, the parade team, JCNP, Mr. Silbert Ferguson, in taking Junkanoo to newer heights.
2016 New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade had a Steve Harvey moment as officials left clearing up the second and third place finishers in the A category. During the announcement of the unofficial results at Al Waqi yesterday, it was announced that Roots came in second, followed by One Family Warriors in third. Well, today, Chairman of the parade management team, Jeff Lloyd, cleared the air about those results and told us about the era.
I stated incorrectly that One Family came third with a score of 87.17, and that Roots came second with a score of 85.43. What I should have stated was that Roots would have come third. Roots would have come third with a score of 85.43, One Family with a score of 87.17, and of course the Valley won with a score of 87.78. Now, if you listen carefully to the scores, you will see that obviously One Family came second with 87.17 and Roots came third with 85.43. But the way I read it was that Roots was second with 85.43 and One Family was third with 87.17.
Now, reportedly, this is the second time that incorrect results have been called for the One Family Warriors. While it was not intentional, Lloyd gave these kind words to the One Family Junkanoo organization.
In both instances, Boxing Day and New Year's Day, they acquitted themselves excellently. I believe they have every reason to hold their heads very high. They came within a whisker, as the score reflects, of winning the New Year's Day parade. It was an extremely competitive and a tightly contested event this past parade season. No group should walk away in any way feeling disappointed. Naturally, everybody wants to win, and in many respects, everybody did in fact win. They made Bahamians very proud. They were extraordinarily competent, very creative.
A year after the implementation of value-added tax, CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Edison Sumner, says the business community is still waiting for government to reconsider the structure of business license fees. In its 2013-2014 budget, government introduced business license fees for commercial banks at 3% of their annual gross revenue. Previously, they paid asset-based fees. Businesses with an annual revenue of more than $100 million also saw their rate increase by 1.75%. Sumner says the fees are not good for local businesses.
It was discussed over a year ago that once the government was satisfied that they were collecting the level of taxes that they projected from VAT, that they would revisit the issue of business license fees with the view to putting them back to where they were prior to the change happening. Business license fees for many businesses in this country is still a very, very big deal, because many businesses in this country are paying more in business license fees than the profits they're taking home at the end of the year.
The Chamber's Coalition for Responsible Taxation even presented government a proposal highlighting its concerns that the fees would deter investment and negatively impact employment. It also suggested a 0.5% business license fee. In its report on tax reform, the International Monetary Fund also suggested the tax was not necessary with VAT. Sumner says the high business license fees are a hindrance that can put the future of many businesses in jeopardy.
That's not the way business is supposed to be run. We're not supposed to be paying more in fees and taxes than the profits. When the business starts to lose profits or isn't making any profits at all, he's operating in a deficit. You operate in the deficit for more than 2 or 3 consecutive terms, meaning whether you judge it by your quarterly results or otherwise, it won't be long before you are out of business. When you're out of business, you've got to let your staff go. There are other consequences. The government isn't making its revenue anymore from that business. The utility companies aren't generating revenue from that business. So there are spin-off effects that are happening.